The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
Welcome to another segment of UCW Radio, and this is your host, Lou, a.k.a. Falcon Coparis. And we're here with another segment. And I want to thank all of you as I do, as I open every show, thanking you for being our listener and listening to all the special guests. And trust me, they are special, all the special guests that come on the show. Now, today we're going to have a lady, a woman, on the show that has embarked on an interesting journey where she started a career in modeling, took a break for personal reasons, and now, some 15 years or so later, she's going back into that arena and she's finding success. So this is not only an interesting story, it is actually inspirational for those that those people or women that always wanted to have a modeling career or an acting career, any type of career, but you were afraid to jump back in because you thought that you were too old to do it. And this proves that you can do anything that you set your mind to. Now, before we bring our guests on the line, I have to give you some information. Listeners can actually call in when the show is live. So get a pen and write this number down. It's 323-215-1446. That's 323-215-1446. Even when the show is over, you can actually leave a message, and if it's interesting enough, we'll pose those questions to our guest. So, and it may be played on the show to boot. So you'll get on the show that way as well. Also, if you're on Twitter, then you can actually shoot me out your questions, your comments there as well, whether we're live or not. You'll know who the guests are. Just go to ucwmagazine.com and you'll see who the guests are. And if you have questions, shoot them out. And that's how that works. My Twitter name is Louis Velazquez. That's LOUISVELAZQUEZ. Follow me and ask away. Now, without further ado, let's patch in the model, actress, basically a woman that, as I said, took a break, and now she's back in the saddle again. This is Bridgette Taylor. Let's get Bridgette Taylor on the line. Bridgette, welcome to UCW Radio. I want to thank you in advance for taking time. I know you have a lot of things going on, but you're taking time to speak with us today about your career, what you did in the past, what you're up to now, and I do appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, though.
You are more than welcome, and you are I think your story, and it's, I think a lot of people are going to find it interesting. You were a model. You've been doing it for some time. You took a little break from it, and you'll go into that as we move along. But let's start at the beginning. Tell us who Bridgette Taylor is. When did you get involved in modeling? Why did you get involved in modeling? And let's go over some points, some highlights that you touched during your career.
Okay. I'm originally from Miami, down there in Florida, and
party town.
Was in party town, Fort Lickerdale. No, I'm just kidding. But I went to college down there. I went to school. I was going to be a fashion designer, but I chose the medical field instead. Okay. And during a break, we were walking around the campus, and there was a filming of Miami Vice. And one of the producers came up to my friend and I and asked if we wanted to be an extra and a part of Miami Vice. We said sure. They talked to us about it, and then got the part, and I really enjoyed it. And then I found an agent down there and a photographer and a makeup artist, and then started doing front work. So that's basically how I got started. I was just at the right place at the right time.
Sometimes that happens. It's not like you were pursuing this. You were just there at that time.
Yep. I was just there. I mean, I had it like in the back of my mind. I thought it was cool when I would look through magazines and wondering how I could do that, and it just happened. So.
And that's interesting. Now, what was it, in 89, you were in Playboy, right?
Yep, they have. It's called Girls of the Big East, and I think you can still purchase it because someone I know purchased the magazine, and I'm in that. It happened in Daytona. I went to Daytona for spring break, and I entered a bikini contest there. My friend told me to do that, and I ended up...
check you out. So check you out,
Bridgette.
Bridgette.
Me out. But they didn't tell me it was going to be a wet T-shirt contest, and Playboy would be filming it. So that's how that happened. The photographer came up to me after the contest, and so you can see pictures of me in the 1989 Girls of the Big East issue.
Oh, look, that's another, thing that you weren't actually looking for, but something that happened.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, so now fast forward. You also, well, let me touch on this. You also were involved in film for a little bit. You did some stuff on some Hollywood stuff.
Yep, I was in. I auditioned. Actually, I went to more auditions than I was in more films.
Okay.
So the auditioning part in front of the casting directors, I auditioned for several of those and got chosen to be in a movie that was filmed in Coral Gables, which is near Miami or outside of it, and it was called Screwball Hotel, which actually you can find at the video stores, but you really have to look.
Okay.
And I did a part in that.
Okay.
So.
And you also in a bar scene in Miami Vice. You had a thing going on there at one point. But you also did some advertising, right? You were involved in some commercials.
Yep, I did a few Pepsi commercials that they had one filmed. I think Michael Jackson was a part of that one when I did that. Okay. And then there was another commercial which was also again Pepsi. They filmed that one. So I was just like in the crowd as an extra part of that. So.
Well, let me ask you a question. How did it feel? I know it was something that just transpired when you got involved in modeling and acting and those things. But how was that feeling for someone to come up to you and say, "Hey, you know what? I think you'd be great to get involved in modeling," and someone taking your pictures and actually not telling you, "Well, pay me and I'll do this," but actually bringing you in and giving you the exposure that brought you to where you were looking to go. How was that feeling?
The feeling was a little bit, I felt a little bit nervous, but yet I felt confident at the same time, and I felt that I was lucky that I had the particular look that they were looking for. Mm-hmm. But basically I was pretty nervous, but it didn't project that out on, the film or through the photographers. It didn't project that. So actually it was something I liked, and I felt very lucky to have had that happen to me, that type of exposure.
But when that ball started rolling, you actually started getting a lot of stuff done. You were a Pepsi commercial. You were in Miami Vice. You were a calendar girl for a radio station. You were also involved in some fashion shows and that type of thing. You had a lot of things going for you back then. And what else have you done in modeling or in acting when you were actually really building up? Why don't you tell us your story? What transpired?
I took a couple of acting classes, and I joined the Screen Actors Guild that they have, and I just auditioned for a bunch of parts, and the radio station down there, I became a representative to them. And whenever they had concerts that came down, for example, Aerosmith or Ozzy Osbourne at the Orange Bowl down in Miami. Mm-hmm. Since I was a representative of the radio station, we got to go backstage and meet, for example, I met Steven Tyler, and we would hang out with them before and after the show and get front row. So actually, I was nervous at first, and then once I met and got along with everyone, they're just regular people, and I just felt lucky to be around them, and then it just pursued from then on, just being able to do that. So.
Okay, well that's excellent. So but it came to a point that you were at some point you were thinking about moving to LA, really pursuing this, pushing your career, and making everything happen for yourself. At about what age were you looking to make that move to bigger and better things?
Approximately when I would finish college, so about 19 or 20 years old.
Okay.
I was going to do that.
You were going to go to LA and do all that stuff. Well, what happened? What stopped you from doing it?
Well, I ended up meeting someone and I got married.
Okay, that's the age-old story, right?
Right.
And when that happened, did you put the brakes on your career, or were you still modeling? You know, what transpired?
Well, I was modeling a little bit, and my ex-husband, he actually took some pictures of me, and I became for Hustler magazine. I got in one of the Girl Next Door picture photograph of like a Polaroid, and I was in that.
Okay.
And he actually did that, and also Cherry magazine, just a Polaroid picture that he sent in. So that was the only type of stuff I did up here for that when I met him.
Okay.
And the rest of it, like the acting and everything, I was not able to pursue it like I was down in Florida.
Okay, so you changed your whole career. You kind of like switched everything and put the brakes on it just for a little bit because, you know, so our listeners understand, you did say ex-husband. So that's ex-husband.
Ex-husband.
There you go. Ex-husband. He's out of the picture now. But now
right.
you started pursuing your modeling and acting again. About what year was it when you started actually getting back into the game? And obviously you're older now than you were back then. Maybe you can tell us what made you get back into it. Did you have a revelation? Did you wake up one morning and say, what the hell did I do? Let me get back into what I love doing. What transpired?
Well, I met a photographer because I went to a couple of concerts and there was a photographer there probably back in 2005.
Okay.
And he said that he had a rock promo coming up for a bar down in Hartford, and I would be good for a rock girl to take some pictures.
Okay.
So I took a couple of pictures for him, and I was on the ad that they had for the rock promo.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, during that time, I was able to be myself, and I divorced my ex-husband, who sort of hindered me from pursuing anything that I wanted in regards to the modeling. And then once I was free from that, I came, I guess you could say, out of my shell, and with help and from other photographers that I trusted,
mm-hmm.
and avenues to show me that were good avenues to go down, I was back to myself for the modeling, and that's how I'm continuing to do it. And I got good advice from other models and from people in this type of field, and that's what I did. So now I'm pursuing it more strongly, just as I was back in Florida.
Oh, so you're back in the game full blast. You want to make this happen for you now, but
I do.
That's good. I think you're going to make it happen. I'm just I know that you did a couple of you did something where you did some sort of feature or something. I don't have it in front of me, but I know you did a feature for I think a website or something that you were doing.
Yep. The website is called sexiestmomsclub.net.
Hey,
you
now.
can just go online and put in Sexiest Moms Club, and then it'll bring you right to the website. And these are all women that have children or have had children. And the age bracket is any age, basically, as long as you have children. And I was featured for July as a military bombshell, and now I'm featured in September, which should be up, I guess, next week, as a secretary theme set. And then there's other pictures of me on there also, and the person goes on, and then it gives a little bio about me, and they can purchase the magazine online or make me as their screensaver if they want.
Well, that's cool. They can have you on their computer. They can watch you all day.
Yeah, they can watch me all day. So.
Well, we don't want any creepy stuff, but they can watch you all day, and that's okay.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right. We don't want to talk about that stuff because who knows? I don't want to think about it. Anyway, let's get back to your career because you took that break, and obviously you taking that break kind of wiped out a lot of prime time where you could have actually, during that time you could have had the opportunity to go to LA, be in some of the big shows at that point because you were getting direction from photographers and agents and everything and telling you to pursue this, go for it, you have a future ahead of you. You put the brakes on it, and now you're getting back into it. But again, that was we're talking what about 15 years later or so. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you being, and I know this is a touchy subject, but I think that your story would be interesting to some young model that's just getting into modeling or acting, and just to hear what you've done and what you've been through. When you took that break and now you're getting back into it, how? I mean, if you could roll back time, would you have still made the same moves that you made? Would you have taken that break?
I would not have taken the break. I would continued on with it.
Okay, and you would have just continued on with it and just have the support of the man that you were with, as opposed to you giving up your life for the person. I think that's a key thing that any woman out there should keep in mind. You have your dreams, your hopes, your everything. No need to give that up for anyone, for any man. It's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'll let you say it in your words so they can hear you and not me, because I'm a man and you're a woman.
What I can say positively about giving it up is that I still had contact with some of the people in the business that became friends with me. For example, a makeup artist, I'm still friends with her, who was my very first makeup artist. She's now out in Las Vegas, and I'm still in contact with her. So I had avenues that were good and not misleading. And also up here, when I did give up part of the career, I was able to volunteer at Shriners Hospital, and I also worked for the Humane Society for the homeless animals. I gave some of my time to that.
Let's touch on the Shriners Hospital situation. What were you doing over there with Shriners Hospital? Well, let's touch on each charitable thing, one thing at a time, because I find that interesting.
Okay, at the Shriners Hospital, I would go once a week, and I would sit and I would do like activities with the children that were there, and just basically hang out, just talk to them. And a lot of them, though, really didn't speak English, because a lot of the children were from foreign countries at the Shriners. So we would just do like cards or coloring or any type of activities with them. And I volunteered there for about a year or so. And then I also volunteered at the animal shelter, because I love animals very much. So I would help just like walk the dogs, or go in and help clean cages, or work the desk at the Humane Society. So that's what I did.
Well, I think that's excellent. So you are also, I guess, a humanitarian in certain respects. You're giving back. You're not just taking, you're giving back, and I think that's fantastic. That's a good attribute for anyone to have, to give back somewhat.
Yes, and if I could financially, which is if I became, quite successful or had more monetary status, I would give part of the money, some of my money to keep these organizations going, especially in this tight economy.
Oh, that's excellent. I wish that more. Well, I'm sure that you have a lot of well-to-do and celebrities, and they do their part for their own charitable organizations. So I was going to say I wish more people would do it, but there are a lot of people doing that. Can more be done? Sure, more can be done. But hopefully, people will do more, and these organizations will continue to do what they do best as the years and decades go by. Now you're pursuing your modeling. Now, do you have anything going on now that's helping to boost you to the next level where actually you should have been for years?
Yes, I have several things going on right now, and actually I have 8 photo shoots booked in September, ranging from
8 photo shoots.
8.
Oh wow, you are a mad woman. You're out of control. Good for you. Good for you, Bridgette. That's fantastic.
Yeah, there's like 2 in 1 week, and then there's like 1. I try to arrange it, plus trying to work, plus trying to live my passion. Trying to arrange all. I have to put a stop though at 8. I can't do any more. It's gonna, that's a lot. 8 in 1 month. So.
But still, that's not bad. You know, you just started getting back into it, and you're opening up the gates, and I think that's fantastic because I think once you do that, that there's not going to be any stopping you. Again, I know that a lot of when I'm touching on the women on the women part of it or the woman part of it, because that's the focus of this interview today. But there are a lot of women out there that always wanted to pursue modeling. They didn't do it when they were 20. They didn't do it when they were 30. They didn't do it. They didn't do it because they were afraid. But now some may have regrets, but meanwhile they still have the goods to go out and get involved in modeling, because modeling is not just about young 17, 18, 19-year-old women, girls out there and posing and stuff. There's a whole different market for older women. So maybe you can enlighten us on that.
Yes, there is a whole different market for that. It's actually pretty strong. I would say like 30s and up. It's pretty strong for the females. The market is very good, especially with fashion and any type of swimwear or fitness wear. They also like the mature look just for certain types of flyer ads for like Macy's or representing, being a representative for a cosmetic company. They also like that for any type of females in the older age bracket that are sophisticated looking, or they want women that are also sexy that can represent all the mothers out there, which is what I'm trying to do, plus be my own person. Mm-hmm. Or anyone that, if, for example, you were heavy at one time and then you got into personal training and now you have a nice physique and you can show that off in certain modeling type of aspects like runway or fitness wear, or even if you want to pose, nude, artistic nude, which is a lot of females around my age bracket are trying to also do now. Okay. So it's pretty strong.
But a lot of women in your age bracket aren't in the shape that you're in. But you do have women that are in your age bracket that maybe they're just afraid to do it, but they do have regrets. For those people that always wanted to do it, but they were afraid to, what advice would you give them?
What I would do is I would tell them that they should find a photographer that would focus on any strong points that they have. For example, if they're into, face, like skincare, and just find someone that they can trust that could help them out and be able to find it within themselves. If that's a passion that they have, I feel that they should do that. I feel that they should. It will project through the photography. It will show just through their expression in their eyes that they have the strength to do it, and it'll make them successful, and they'll feel confident about themselves also. That's what I think they should do.
Okay, well that's the advice from Bridgette Taylor. Let me ask you this, Bridgette. You are at a point right now that you're just opening up again, and I don't think you're going to peak anytime in the near future. Where do you see yourself being? I mean, if you had the opportunity to do a Playboy or a Hustler or a Penthouse, something like that again, would you do it?
Yes, I would do it. I would definitely do it, and I would do it for myself, and B, to show other women out there that no matter what, you can do it. And I'm sure I would get heat or negative feedback from people, but I actually would just brush it off, because basically my whole life I've gotten negative feedback from people, mm-hmm. but I get more positive, strong feedback from people.
See,
I would definitely do it.
Well, that's a big thing, because you're not living for other people; you're living for yourself and for your immediate family. And at the end of the day, if you have an opportunity in front of you, if anyone has an opportunity to sit and look at it and say, well, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow never comes. Maybe tomorrow turns into maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years. You have to seize the moments. And that's basically what you're doing, and you're open to doing those type of publications. You're open to doing other print advertising. I'm sure that you're open to doing some some traditional 30-second spot ads if they need
Yes.
you.
Yep.
Okay, because you've done Pepsi, you've done things like that. You're also open to doing billboard ads as well. So you have a lot of so you have a lot of things going on. Now, where do you see yourself? If in your perfect world, where would you see yourself in a year?
Within a year, I see myself probably in a few magazines, depending, or any type of ads like for JCPenney or anything like that. I also see a couple of opportunities. Actually, I had one, but I have to think about it. Maybe modeling down in the islands, like Jamaica or the Bahamas, somewhere. And I just see myself working for an agent or participating with an agent and helping, maybe being a talent scout. I see myself within a year really thriving through this career, this dream that I've had since I was in my teens. I see myself thriving through this.
Well, and you have the passion that goes right behind it, because in order to succeed in this business, you have to want it, and not just wake up and say, "Well, this is why I want to be famous." No, you want to go, and you got to have the desire, the passion, the everything to put your all into it. You were at that point, at one point in your life, you were getting back there, and I'm happy for you, and I think that you will make it. I'm pretty confident that you will make it. Because
Thank you.
You're welcome. But you're at a point that you made a decision. When when a person makes a decision of what they want to do and they want to pursue something, if they have all the tools, which you have the tools to make it. So I think that you would. Now, what about acting?
Acting?
Yeah. Do you see yourself doing any acting at any point in your career?
I do see that, but not as close as all of the print work or for photographers, because the acting is not as strong where I reside right now. Mm-hmm. So until I leave where I'm residing and move to where the acting is stronger, then that's when I'm going to pursue that. So probably, I can't give an exact time, but not within a year. But the acting, I do have knowledge of that, so I do want to pursue that, but not as strong as all the print work.
Okay, so the big thing for you is the modeling, and I think that if any photographers, if any magazine publishers are listening to the show and they want someone that is over 30, in great shape, that has a great presence, they should reach out to you. Now, how with these people that are involved in the industry, how can they find out more about Bridgette Taylor?
Well, they can go on MySpace. I have a MySpace. They can look that up, or they can contact me through Facebook, or they can contact me through the Sexiest Moms website, and eventually I'm going to try to put up my own website, but I just haven't had a chance to do that. Okay. Or they can contact me through Model Mayhem, and right there, everything's there. All the contact information is there also. Okay,
so they can go to, probably MySpace is a good situation for them to reach out to you, because you have pictures on there and everything, right?
Yes, I do. I have pictures on there.
Okay,
yep.
So they can go and they can see your pictures, and they can see where you would fit in, and they can contact you there. And I think that, as I said, I think that your career, even though you took a break, will come back and it will blossom, because it's your time to make everything happen, and you have a passion for it, which is fantastic.
Yes, I do have a strong passion. And even if people are, anyone, male, female, young, older, ever have a setback from anything or something comes up and they can't pursue their dream, because you never know what can happen in a person's life. You always, if you have that drive, like you say, Lou, or the passion, you can always have it come out again if you're given the opportunity, and jump on any opportunity you have to help succeed with your dream. That's my motto, or that's the way I think, and I hope I can project that to other people also.
Well, it's a good way to think, and I think that you are projecting that. Just with your actions and what you're doing is showing that, you can't let anything hold you back from achieving your dreams, because once you do that, then you're lost. And then what are you here for? You're born to achieve great things. Everyone is. You have to want it, and you have to want to get it done. And at least you knew that your whole life, but you had certain blockades. But now you're back. You're back in the saddle, and that's great. You're back, Steven Tyler, right? Back in the saddle.
I know, Steven Tyler, right?
Yeah. But you're back in the saddle again. You're getting your things done. You're hanging and banging. You're doing your stuff. And I think that we're going to see a lot more of you. And I hope that when you do start progressing with your career, that you will come back on the UCW radio show. You'll share with us what you have going on. Hopefully you won't forget me, because sometimes that happens.
No, never. I always stay true to myself and people that are true to me. Okay. I always stay true to them.
Okay, that's awesome. That's great to hear. But Bridgette, I want to thank you. I know you have some stuff going on now. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day for us to have this insightful interview. I do want to tell our listeners that to keep an eye out for Bridgette Taylor. That you are going to be breaking out. I know you want it, but I'm just looking forward that you will be breaking out. They should keep an eye on your career. And again, as time goes on, I want to have you back on the show, talk more about what you have going on, and keep tabs on you to make sure that you're gonna be where you're gonna be. Well, which I don't need to do, but I know it's gonna happen.
Exactly. I appreciate that, and I look forward to coming back.
You got it, Bridgette. All right, you go do your stuff, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.